Hi everybody, how is everybody doing today? So, as you saw on my first episode, I put this little pack together and I made my booklet. But when I went off camera, I decided that I hadn't really put together like a little fabric pack. So what I did, I went through my vintage fabrics. Some I had given to me by the lovely Ali, that was in my pack, and others that were in my pack already to begin with. And I've just picked out like things like this because I want to add kind of blue to it. I've picked out some measuring tape. There's all sorts of different fabrics, and the other one I picked out was this. It's purple, but I thought it would fit well with the bluebells. So I haven't got to overwhelm myself. I'm really excited to get going. And like you said in my last video, I think it's because it's all packaged lovely that it's really triggering me to go ahead and craft it. Now my adhesives I am going to use, I'm going to use Pritt Stick, old-fashioned Pritt Stick. I'm also going to use my high-tack all-purpose glue, and I'll probably use the 3-in-1 to stick fabrics down. So let's get creating. So I'm going to move the fabrics out of the way a minute, and I'm just going to rummage through what I've put together because I can't even remember myself. Oh, and I gave Mrs. Rian a teaser. I took a picture of what was on my desk and she went, "Oh, it's very vintage." I said, "Yeah, but I don't really know what to call it." And she came up with a suggestion of calling this a journal mood board for it to go in actual journal. It will go in together eventually, but like I said, I don't want to overwhelm myself with everything I've got around me. So I've got some watercolours. I need to go and get some water, but I have got some watercolour pencils, not paints. And I'm gonna see if I've got a piece. I want to start off with this page because I want to do some colours sets. So I'm going to start here. Now, some of the emulsions I have got out. Like I said, I don't know which ones to use or which ones not to use. This one is called Bali. This one is called Pink Harmony. That one I've just thrown is called Mint Crisp. And then I've got two more, and I keep dropping bottles. I have Egyptian Cotton and then Malt Chocolate. And then I've also got my watercolours. I'm going to do it on my watercolour paper, only because I know that it'll activate the colours if I use my watercolours. I need to go and top my water up in a second. So, I'm all excited to get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick out a few bits and pieces. Going to pick out a few bits and pieces. Oh, I did get fabrics. I'm going to put them over there. I kind of like that there. Oh, and I've got a piece here to add some flowers as well. Do I want it? I'm going to work a little bit of a collage first before I do anything. Only because I want to activate my, like I say, I want to activate my flowers. My colours. Might make that not as long. Pop that under there. I want to do a little bit of a strip here because I'm going to write on the paper. So what I'm trying to do is build my little strips up. I'm going to get the inks out. So I'm going to use gathered twigs because I've got the flowers out, and I'm going to use my evergreen buff as well. So I almost don't want to disturb this in case I disturb it too much. Now I like that piece. I don't know why I like that piece. I think it's a little bit thinner. Yeah, I like that piece more. I'm going to pop that there. And I have got... yeah. So I'm going to pop... I like that very much. And I can play about with my colours. And then I'll also add in... yeah, I like that a lot. I'm going to see, I did put some music paper in, I'm sure I did. There it is. See, it's not overwhelming, so everything I've pulled out is everything I'm going to basically use. I'm going to pop this just there, like so. So I've got a bit of depth to it. I want to stick this completely down flat. I have got my, like I say, I have got my fabrics, which I'm going to use in a second. But I just want to play about with building my page up. So I'm going to fast forward this section because it might take me a little while to figure everything out. And once I've figured everything out, I'll come back and I'll glue it all with you. Basically it for me sticking I think my fabrics and my pieces. Now my colour, I'm going to move my fabrics out of the way. You can sort of see once I had an idea in my mind, and because it was packed, I packed it beautifully, it really inspired something in me to do it and just sit and craft, and I'm not kind of overthinking things. So because I can't work out what colours I want, I'm gonna start off with this. It's almost like it's stuck. I have to add a little bit of water to this. Bear with me a minute. Okay, so I've added some water while that's doing its thing. This one's okay. This one is called Balti. B-A-L-I. I'm just going to pop the lids on my inks because I don't want them to dry out. And my inks. Right, so I've got a piece of tissue paper here because we'll need something to protect my book and to protect the fact that I want to do paints. Now, am I going to use a brush or shall I use what God gave me? My fingers. I think I'm going to use my Little Mermaid brush because I only want a little bit of a sample. So let me, I'm just going to pop it here. No, I like that colour. I like that colour a lot. That colour is really nice. And to make me work out whether it'll go with my vintage. I'm going to take my vintage photo, and I've got a big brush for this, but you want a little bit. And all I'm going to do I'm just going to put a little bit of brown in the middle, and then you'll see whether it goes. I really like that colour. That colour is really nice. Right, my next colour, so that one is Balti. I'll dry these off in a second. This one I had to put some water into because it wasn't doing anything. Let me just washing my brush as I go, because it won't bring out the right colour if I don't. And I'm just gonna I don't know whether, oh, this is kind of pale, like a pale green almost. It doesn't help that the paint isn't stuck. It's a real pale green. Let's see whether you guys can see that. It's a real pale green. It does go with the brown. It makes the top one blue, but in fact that one's actually mint green. So that's that one. The other ones I want to test out are my watercolours. Now, I think I'll do my watercolours on a sample piece to tuck into the pocket rather than trying to put them all on this piece. I have got, these are the other colours I've got. So I'm going to test Pink Harmony out. Just drying off the paint. Please say. This one's dried out big time. I haven't used these in so long. I used to use them all the time in my crafting. No, it's not going to work. Let me get this paint going, I'll be back with you. Okay, so I've dried it with my heat gun, that's what it's called. Those are the colours I have. The pink didn't quite come out. Those are the colours I have. Now before I forget any of the colours, what they're called, and before I make my watercolour sample, I'm going to write down what they were on top of the colours. So this one was Emulsion. Can never remember how to spell Emulsion. O-S-I-O-N. And that one's called B-A-L-I. Bali is that one. So I kind of like that colour. I liked it when it came out. This one again is Emulsion Paint, and this one's called Mint Crisp. Right, and this one, the pink one that didn't work, I am going to put it down because next time I'm in the shop maybe I can pick it up. So it was Emulsion, and it was called Pink Harmony. Right, I'll come back to what I'm going to do with that in a second. Then I have, these are Emulsion, but they're not. They're more paint for walls rather than little emulsion. They probably are emulsion pot things, but they're made by a different company. Egyptian cotton. That's that one. And then the last one is Dulux. And that is malt chocolate. I like the sound of that, to be honest. Okay, so I have, those are the colours, the emulsion colours, and I've put vintage photo in the middle. Now what I've got to do, because the pink harmony didn't come out, I'm going to get some of my different pens out, because I really want to use the highlighting pens as reference points as to what ones I liked, what ones I didn't like. So I'm going to go and get them, and I'm going to show you, probably fast track this section, because then you'll be able to see what I'm going to do. I apologise in advance for the focus, and I've just realised that the anti-focus is on. Turn that off. And I'm going to go get my pens, and then I'll fast forward and you'll be able to watch me do it. So I thought I'd come on and do a bit of a voiceover here. I want to create, since I've created a little pocket, I want to create a little tag where I can put some watercolour paints on and make a little palette up that way for the different colours I've used. Now the little pile I got together yesterday, I want to use that pile and decorate, and since I've used like the blues and the greens, I decided I should use sort of blue tones on the front and see where that takes me. Now as you can see, I've dug out some dried flowers. I thought it would be nice if I had the twine, tied it and then stamped it, sealed it with some wax, but I'm so glad this is the inspiration book, because if I had done this on the journal I would probably wrecked it. So as you'll see now in a second what I'm going on about, you'll see where the mistake has come in. But this is all, the idea of this booklet is to put those little ideas down, and to make different ephemera. And there's me tying it. I want to add some bluebells because I quite love my bluebells. So I got a candle out, got everything out, and I thought, right, I know what to do this. And I melted some wax in a spoon, and then thought, right, once that's melted, which it did take about 5 minutes, I poured it on and then stamp it. The only problem was, because the wax was sort of liquidy, when I poured it on it went everywhere and didn't actually stick to the page, it stuck to the actual stamp, so I had to dig it out with the scissors. Like I say, I'm so glad and revealed that I am doing this on the inspiration board and not on my own journal. So I thought it fitted in well really there. I come across some fabric pens. I wanted to use them, but I haven't in this section. I got some paints out so I knew the names of them to go back for as reference, and each paint, like I've done with the enamels, dried, and then I wrote down what each paint was. There is 2 paints in that palette but there that I'm doing that I really like the look of. So the top looked a little bit plain to me. I still wanted to write a little note, and in the end of this video you'll find out what that note actually says. But I wanted to build this sort of inspiration idea that continued through this booklet, and then I was able to reference it back when I make the big journal. So I'll let you listen to the rest, and I'll speak to you all soon. These are emulsions. I really want to write something up the top about me mixing my colours up, so I'm going to write that up, and then I will come back to you once I've written everything up and go through what I've jotted down. So what I've got is this page so far. This is the page that I'll probably add to. I've got that space if I want to add anything to it, but that's the page I've done so far. So it says, these colours I was testing out. I wasn't sure which ones would work with my antique vintage journal. I want my colours to blend with each other, and I've just made a note about need to get another paint. This one dried up in the Pink Harmony. I've put noted each one down, and then this one I've made with my watercolours. I've popped a little note saying all these watercolours I liked. I love the olive green and the Artiste blue. I think these work well together to create my journal. So that is my sort of page done for today. I'm going to gather all these and pack them up as beautifully as I had them, and yeah, that's my page I've done today. And as you can see, this has given me some inspiration about doing little flips rather than small ones. I want to add my flowers in there, but I'm going for that sort of build up rather than that, but I just liked how that looked with all the flowers. And then I'll keep doing it until this book's actually full. So the next page, I won't say what page I'm working on, but the next part of my page that I want to work on is mixing to contrast the vintage scene. So it'll probably be the collage bit of it, because now I've done the colours, it'll give me some idea of mixing the ephemera and the fabric that I picked out and putting it all together to create some collages. So I'll probably do, I'd like to say 2 pages, but I might split it up into 2 videos. So I hope you really enjoyed today's video. It's definitely given me some food for thought, and I love this thing. I've got to mix some words up as well. So that's my little note. So yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to give a thumbs up, and please comment below. I am checking back with you all with all the comments, so thank you all for commenting. It does mean a lot. And yeah, let's see if I can get out what's in my mind without having to worry too much about which one mixes and which one doesn't. That's why I wanted to do a colour blend and use the colours that I had in the cupboard before sort of thinking and getting stuck with the main journal. So I will love and leave you all till the next video, and stay safe everyone. Speak to you all soon. Bye for now.